Hey, Contractors of Colorado. It's your host, Andrew Lavrins, here with an episode of the Contractors of Colorado Podcast. Before we kick this thing off, shout out to our sponsors, the Builders Outlet Material Supply Shop up in Denver, cabinets, doors, windows, trim, and they also have a custom mill. Tell them the Contractors of Colorado sent you and they will take care of you. And also thank you to the Business Foundry. It is an office space here in Lone Tree that provides professional services to entrepreneurs and has tons of services, one of which being this media and podcast room, which we're in today. So thank you to the Business Foundry. Our guest today is none other than Justin Martinez with Colorado Glass and Mirror. How are you?
You're amazing. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Are you doing really good? And to kick this thing off, as always, tell us about yourself. What have you got going on? What are your hobbies? All that.
Jeez, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
Well,
you're a pretty interesting guy.
Thank you. So my name is Justin Martinez. I own Colorado Glass and Mirror. We've been in business 11 years and literally started from a broken window repair. So it was school of hard knocks. Didn't have much funding. So if the window didn't go, I was nervous about the next day's work, gas money. I am an avid Bronco fan. I grew up in Denver, Sloan's Lake area, went to Brown Elementary, Lake Middle School, North High School, had a short stint at Wheat Ridge. So developed a lot of relationships around that part. And now our services span pretty much all of Colorado. We go from Pueblo to Fort Collins, and we are up in the high country, and we go, believe it or not, we've gone all the way to Kansas, and man, he just called again. So we'll be heading back out there, but
did something right.
We did. Great people out there too. Just real good, homegrown type of folks, but super blessed to be, to have found this business, and huge, background of how we got into it or how I got into it. But, it's, I just feel blessed every day, and every day something different is going on. So it's always exciting to me. It hasn't been boring at all.
Yeah. Yep. Family man. I had the pleasure of meeting the family. I was at a Broncos tailgate. It was the season opener this year.
Oh, that's right.
It was a good time, man. You know how to throw a tailgate.
Thank you all. I can't take the credit for that. That's Chantel Sandoval. I mean, she's amazing. And a lot of times, we all think we're big and bad, but it's the people behind the scenes that make everything happen. And she's a huge part of it. The cooking. Did you enjoy the food?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And Sean.
Yes.
Yeah. That was a great time. We welcomed old Russ Wilson back into town.
That was a lot of fun.
But yeah, it was a great time. And we do those. Actually, we do those for contractors, customers, employees. And it's just a great place to just reset, relax, kind of put all the business away for a Sunday afternoon of football. And we really, really enjoy that. So I'm super thankful that we're able to do that for our friends and family.
Yeah. I appreciate you considering me. And
that was great. Yeah.
It was a good time. Well, on that note, go Broncos.
Go Broncos.
Maybe next year.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, tell us about the businesses. Tell us about the services you provide.
So we do, our claim to fame is shower doors and custom shower doors and mirrors, custom mirrors. We can pretty much do anything that you dream of that's going to be safe, and we want it to last, obviously. It's pretty extensive, just from the measuring to ordering to installation. Yes, we can make it look easy, and it's funny because sometimes a customer can watch the whole process and he'll say, "Oh, I could have done that." And I'm like, well, we make it look easy because we're professionals, right? And we know what we're doing. We've been there, done that. So that's our claim to fame. We do broken window repair. We do full window replacements. We are now starting to get into commercial storefront. So that's going to be another exciting mountain to climb and try to conquer. I don't feel like we'll ever conquer all of it because we're always constantly learning, but we do that. And as a matter of fact, you had me measure a window here today for you. So we'll get that fixed and get that inspection passed.
None other than our preferred contractor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So you're part of our preferred program.
Yeah. Thank you.
Of course. No, it's really good to have you. And for a lot of the reasons that you said. One, you as a person, you do things for the right reason. You have an ethical backbone, which is something we look for in all our preferred contractors, but then you also have a passion for the business. You want to grow it. I think you hit on something huge that all of our contractors should be able to take something from, which is it's always an uphill battle. There's always something to learn. Yeah. Maybe someday we'll all be experts in everything, but I think it brings up another great point that I wanted to talk about today, which is how much does glass change? I mean, it's been around forever. How do you stay up to date with what's going on in the industry?
Myself, I like to attend the glass shows. There's always ways to innovate as far as I think the glass itself, glass is glass. It's been grandpa's glass, for 100 years, but shower doors and design concepts and moving into steamers and stuff like that, it's constantly innovating, but you can go back to a 1980 shower enclosure. It could look the same as one we do today, depending on the hardware and hardware color. It is timeless, but for me, I like to stay up to date on software. Software is huge for us because it helps us run our business. I interviewed a guy a couple months ago who came from owning his own glass company, and I showed him, he's been out of the game for a little bit. I showed him how we are able to delegate tasks to our employees, how our employees are able to communicate with us, how we're able to communicate with the office, how we're literally putting a piece of glass 2 inches in and it needs to land right there because that's where the measurement was. He was blown away. And that part of stuff, the innovative part is the technology behind the software. And I think that's so important. There's software companies out there now that gear towards glass companies.
Yep.
That are huge for us. There's software companies that gear towards service industry. So when you compile all those things together, it makes all of our lives a lot easier. So staying on top of those things, measuring, we have some laser measures that are just flawless. I mean, so things fit perfect.
Yeah.
Our uncles and grandpas and stuff, they didn't have that stuff. So it's a little easier for us, but it's still always a challenge to learn it.
Sounds like the planning, preparation, and precision.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that sounds like those have they're progressing with time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so less mistakes. I like that. You kind of threw me a softball there with the software side of things. I mean, that's one of the things that we consult in our professional program is sitting down with all the contractors that just want to have a consultation about their business. I get asked, it feels like more than ever, about what software do you recommend? And 5-10 years ago, the answer is much easier. It was this one. It holds your contacts. It can help with automation and emails, and you can manage your projects in there. And it was very high level. But now it's almost harder on our end because there's so many options that there's a specific glass one. I was talking with Bo from Rocky Mountain Precision Services on our last podcast that we did about his software that he uses. It's specific for landscaping. So there's just all the industries have gone so narrowed down that it takes a lot more research unless it is just service based and much quicker. And there's important things that define what software you should be using. So that's one of the things that we love talking about. Glass is a very specialized field. I mean, glass and mirror, you've built a whole livelihood around just glass and mirror. Tell us about some challenges that might come with that. Obviously, for me, the first thing is moving glass. I mean, I can't drive anywhere without breaking the glass on my windshield. So how do you transport glass and just the whole process? What gives you challenges?
Well, I always, just like you said, with preparation, I worry sometimes because customers will want to pick up a mirror from us, and I'm like, how are you going to transport it? How are you going to get it there? Maybe let me just run it out to you and then it'll get there safe. So we do have glass trucks and vans. More so the vans are pretty key because you're able to keep the glass inside the van and it's staying away from the weather, and especially if it's wet, the mud and dirt and snow coming up on and getting the glass dirty. We have glass racks. So those types of things, it's super important to be able to transport it safely Now, handling it is another thing too, because if it's snowing, we need, some of the guys actually carry shovels in the vans because it's, could be 100-pound piece of glass.
One slip.
Yeah. And we try to tell the girls in the office to let the customers know to please try to clean the driveways. And a lot of times they say, yeah, we will. And then we get there and it's not, so, but we're prepared for that. We actually have salt on the trucks too. So we'll throw down some salt. But my little brother, believe it or not, is terrified of glass. He can't even put it in his hand. He's just afraid it's going to break. I've always felt like you have to respect the glass no matter what. You learn how to carry it. You learn how to handle it. You learn how to put it up. But it is not for the faint at heart by any means. So you just have to respect it, and it will work with you. But some people are very terrified of it, and you can get cut.
Oh yeah, understandably so.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
It's no joke. Some of my favorite videos out there on the internet are the one where they're moving a giant pane and seemingly nothing changes and the thing just shatters and you're like, what happened there? The other ones are where they'll just drop a massive pane down and the air pressure will, it won't shatter. It'll just land on the ground. It's crazy. Is that a real thing?
It is.
I'm assuming so.
It is real. It is real.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do. We also do glass chair mats for offices.
Yeah.
And customers will come in and I'll hold it up. I'll let it fall and they'll go, it's tempered glass. So if it lands perfectly, it's fine.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, but depending on what it's landing on.
Right.
So the one thing I always say is granite and glass look amazing together, but they mix like oil and water. So they can't touch each other. As much as it looks like a piece of glass is sitting on a granite piece, there's actually a spacer in between it. So those are some of the tricks that we do, but they can't touch each other. If they do, that's where you'll see that pop.
Yeah.
And it comes a pile of diamonds.
Yeah. No kidding. Let's kind of go down that path.
Okay.
Of advising homeowners, because I'm sure that's something you share with them and makes you, the experts that you are.
Sure.
What else are you recommending to homeowners? And then also, what comes up with a contractor when it's time to pick someone to do your mirrors and glass, either as a contractor on your project or you're a homeowner? How are you picking what contractor to go with for these services? Tell us a little bit about what your mentality there
What
is.
I see.
Yeah.
So obviously Google's going to be our best friend when it comes to that. Reviews are huge. So as a homeowner, I highly advise them to look at the reviews, see what your neighbors are saying about the company that you're choosing to pick. That's big because you can't fluff those. I mean, you can get somebody to write you a couple, but when you have hundreds and hundreds of reviews, good ones, you have a good chance of dealing with a pretty good company.
Yep.
So contractors and homeowners both have that same avenue to find who they're looking for. As far as for me, when I work first with a contractor, I'm hoping that I'm the last glass guy he'll ever have to call because we're going to establish that relationship. Homeowners, same thing. I have homeowners that we've been doing since we first started, and we're not just doing them, but we're doing their kids and, family members and neighbors. And it's those birds that are chirping for you.
Yep.
So we always just do right by everybody and hope that we get a good review or a recommendation. It's the easiest way to get a lead. And they're pretty much laydowns because they already trust you and they know you're going to do a good job. And they trust who are the people that are telling them about us. So
yeah,
the Google's going to be the biggest thing as far as I'm concerned, and just reviews, as we both know. I mean, you can work your whole career and getting all these good reviews, and then one bad one can really tarnish all that work you've done. So homeowners and contractors really have an upper hand on us because we have to do right by them.
Right.
Otherwise they can tell, the community about that one bad experience. And let's face it, nothing's perfect in construction.
Yep.
Pretty much nothing ever goes as planned. So you pick up the pieces, you make things right, you communicate as to what went wrong. But I've always been a firm believer, if you fix it and you fix it fast, you'll still have a customer smiling at the end of the day.
Oh yeah.
And that's important. That's everything to us.
Yeah.
Customers.
I talk about that probably to the point where I'm starting to sound like a broken record on the podcast, but it's with all of our preferred contractors. And when we're talking with somebody who has a project, or they're asking, do you have a glass and mirror guy? It comes down to the same thing every time. Why this guy? And it's, one, they've been through our verification process. Right. And what we've learned throughout that process and through our relationship is they're going to take care of you. Because construction isn't a thing where somebody that comes in is like, oh, we're perfect, everything's gonna be fine, don't worry about a single thing, we're gonna have no hiccups. That person moves to the bottom of my list. Right. It's when something goes wrong, it's not gonna be every time, but when something does end up going wrong, these guys will take care of you. They have the ethical backbone, they have the business practices and the processes built into their business where it's not a concern. They're gonna make things right. So thank you for taking care of our audience.
Yeah, absolutely. Answer your phone.
Yeah.
Answer your phone. That's so important. And that's what sometimes a customer will ask me, why should I choose you? And I say, hey, I'm going to answer my phone. And I do keep my phone on me. And I know it could be a double-edged sword, because it could, interfere with family and stuff like that. But a customer that's able to believe that you are tangible to him, it makes everything better. Because, and I say, call anytime you want. If I don't answer, I don't answer. But, middle of the night type stuff. But I'll call you first thing in the morning, and I'll answer my phone up till 10 or 11 at night, just so the customer knows he can reach out to me. He or she can reach out to us.
Another pillar of being a preferred contractor, or just a contractor in general that we want to associate, our organization with. Communication, reliability, and again, the bar is so low, but just doing what you say you're going to do. It's like, just by doing these things, you can really set yourself apart. You also hit on really important stuff with reviews. I mean, again, it's one of the things that we consult on all day long when we sit down with contractors is not just you need to focus on earning reviews and asking for the reviews and the right way to ask for a review, but also how detrimental it can be to get that one negative review when you only have 10 positive. Right. All of a sudden your star rating's impacted. It just doesn't give that feeling of, everybody understands, hey, 99 5-star reviews or 4.5, whatever, and then one 1-star review. Yeah. Everybody gets there. There's going to be a disgruntled person out there somewhere, but it's a great thing to focus on and do that. Man, is there anything that you wanted to, in the podcast, you got our audience of contractors and real estate stakeholders, homeowners here. Is there anything that you wanted to take the time and make sure that you got out during this podcast?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things that are on my mind, but as far as what we're doing here now, if I can give advice, because I like helping people out, and it's important. I think that I don't believe in competition. I believe that we all should work together. I think that we should all respect each other and just try to be good to everybody. I even have, just 2 or 3 days ago, one of my fellow glass guys, he's in between moving. He doesn't have a cutting table, and he called and he was like, hey, is your cutting table available? I'm like, come on over, man. And so some of our guys are like, I'm like, why are this other company here? And I'm like, hey, these are our friends, whenever we need something. So I think, if I can get anything across to anybody else who's listening or who wants to start a business, whether it's in the glass industry or just construction in general, is to communicate, make friends. Those relationships they go so far, and just, treat somebody the way you'd want to be treated. Like you said, you touched on something, do what you say you're going to do. It's really simple. And those are the things that a lot of fly-by-nights make us look good, because they don't do what they say they're going to do. So communication is huge, and just building those relationships, I think, are super important.
Yeah. That is kind of what our organization's all about, right?
Right.
Put good quality contractors in the same room, host different events for contractors to get together, get to know each other, try and teach and have some of the expertise rub off on each other, because we see everybody from big established 20, 30, 40-year-old companies all the way to, hey, I left my job site yesterday. I don't even have an LLC yet. Where do I start? And surrounding people with people like yourself that want to spread that news and be a mentor, be a resource for everybody. Collaboration is key around here. We're all better together.
Yeah, absolutely. There's power in numbers. I've been mentored by some amazing men, and some that will be watching this podcast. And I hope that someday somebody can say that about me as well. So I strive for that.
Yeah, I'm sure they're out there. You might not even know. I'm sure they're out there. Yeah. Oh, man. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure having you. I have one last thing. It's just I know you've been on some cool projects. You've got the opportunity to do some cool stuff when it comes to the glass and mirror side. Are there any standouts for you that maybe you want to talk about? Be as detailed or as vague as you want in terms of, clientele or whatever, but I know you've done some cool stuff.
Yes. Right now I'm in the middle of one, and it's in Boulder. Contractor by the name of Stuart. I'll save his last name, but he's the man, and he knows how much I respect him, and he's so many moving parts. We probably have, right now, we've done, I want to say 4 or 5 showers. We're doing glass railing or partitions. So many mirrors that it's just unbelievable. This is going to be probably, it was kind of cool. One of our team members, we were up there walking the job site, and after the customer was, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. She walked out and he said, we're going to see what we're made of on this one.
Awesome.
And that motivated me so much to just take every single request from her and just dial it in, detail it and I'll share some pictures with you when we're done with it.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, let's get out there. Document this thing, showcase it.
Yeah, so yeah, absolutely. So that one there and the one we're doing now, this is probably a 3 or 4 month ordeal that we're actually in, because it's so much. Yeah, that one is, it's up there. We just got done doing a nice little project in Vail at the most expensive condo in Vail. And I did a video on it. I haven't released it yet, but we're still doing some stair rail. And to say, that we're part of that is just, I feel so blessed to just even be on that job site.
Yeah.
So little $40 million condo.
Awesome.
Up there. So, those, but honestly, it's the typical showers that still excite me. Just those 180s or, the door panel that we do for the neighbor, because those are equally as important. They really are. So I still get excited about that. I get excited about the Vail stuff and traveling over the high country to get there and stuff like that. But truthfully, even when you're ready to do yours, I'll still be like, wow, that's a beautiful shower,
Right.
So I'm still excited about those, and they're still equally as important to me.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's thank you for sharing, and the passion came across. It's this same thing that happened with Bo and talking about landscaping. I'm like, we're talking about pavers right now, man. But he's like, you think he's about to just stand up and start spreading the good word. It's really cool. Well, thanks for being here. One of the last things is you brought up Sean. I think Sean is somebody that works in the background a lot, and he probably is going to hate this, but I'm going to give him the shout out that I already know he deserves. So Sean is our Mr. Sean Hakes does our SEO, and Sean's been a longtime partner of yours doing SEO in the background to make your website rank on Google. Tell us a little bit about that experience with just having him be it. He's such knowledgeable. I don't know how or why we deserve to work with Sean, but man, we got lucky.
I'd say he's the unsung hero. He's the both of us love football. He's the fullback.
Oh yeah.
He's blocking.
He's blocking.
Yeah, he's blocking, so we could just run through that hole. I'll tell you what. When I met Sean, I was in the middle of a pretty tough SEO hill that I was climbing, and he fixed it like I've never seen before. And I'm just so blessed to have him, even like to have his phone number.
Yeah.
Truthfully, to say, hey, have a great day. So he's amazing. And going back to that Google and that SEO, it's those guys behind the scenes that make these things work. And maybe we go do their shower and they say, wow, I don't know how you did it. Well, we're saying the same exact thing, but to pull it up on your computer and it's there, or on your phone and it's there, or driving traffic to your website and the phones are ringing, it's amazing. And he's amazing. We both know that. I think we're both lucky to have him as a teammate in our lives and in our careers. And like, he came to the football game with us, but those relationships are extremely important, just watering them.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely the love is huge for that guy.
And the performance is unmatched.
Yeah.
It's incredible. So contractors, when you're ready for a conversation, you want to get access to Sean, give me a call. And that's one thing that we are happy to help you with. We're very, very proud of what he's been able to do for us. So awesome. Well, I mean, I really just wanted to give you the opportunity to get in front of this audience, open some doors to hopefully get your phone ringing.
Sure.
And what people need, because I mean, we have tons of remodelers in here doing bathrooms and other things. The staircases that I've seen you guys do makes me want to just rip all mine out. You're incredible. I love that look.
Right.
But I just wanted to one more time give you open mic. Is there anything else you wanted to say? And if not, that's cool too. Just thank you for being here.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me and us as a whole. But no, I think just for me, just communication is the key to every successful relationship. And that's with contractors, homeowners, and wholeheartedly, it's equally as important for homeowners and contractors to communicate with us as well. So, I mean, it goes both ways, but they're the boss. So we need to communicate just a little bit more and be detail oriented. And I think that goes a long way. So if you are out there trying to start a business, or you have a business that you're just trying to revamp, new year, new me, go for it, but just make sure that communication is the biggest pillar on that block, because that'll get you from point A to point B, and then moving on up to C and D and E and F and finishing it out. So
that's right.
Yeah.
There's two situations where you can be right and still be wrong. Marriage and being a business owner. Good marriage. Oh my goodness. It's all about the customer at the end of the day. Even when you're right and they're all right, still got to make adjustments for them. So awesome. Well, buddy, thank you for being here. It's a pleasure having you as part of the organization, a big supporter of everything we do. You went through our general contractor exam prep course as well. So I completely forgot about that. Maybe that's a whole other episode.
Right. We're getting ready to take that test, and I'm super excited about that. And thank you for just having that course available for us and people that are wanting to just start broadening their horizon.
Yeah.
Broadening their horizon.
Yeah.
But so I guess the glass business just isn't enough gray hairs for me. So we'll go into doing a little more, but
a little bit more stress. Yeah, it's a machine, man. It is. It's really cool how everything's turned out with everything we got going there. So contractors, you want to get licensed, reach out, please. If you want to become a general contractor, that's what we're referencing here at our exam preparation course. So Justin, again, absolute pleasure having you. Thank you, Colorado Glass and Mirror, for all your glass and mirror needs. Have a great day, man. Thank you for everything. One last shout out I'm going to give here to our sponsors. Thank you to the Builders Outlet, cabinets, doors, windows trim, location in Denver right behind Power Stadium. Contractors, feel free to reach out. And then thank you to the Business Foundry for all of the resources that you're able to provide, mentorship, helping out our clients, just giving us a space to exist as the Contractors of Colorado. So everybody, we'll see you next time. Have a good one.
Take care.